Hello student, today we are going to start a new chapter that is This is Geordie's Farm. Well, before starting this chapter, I want to give you a short description about this chapter. Well, the lesson This is Geordie's Farm by Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings revolves around the fawn whose mother was skilled to use its liver and heart to extract poison out of Geordie's father Penny and save his life after a snake bite. It begins with Geordie convincing his pa to bring the fawn home and raise it, then his ma, and then finally going with Millville to search for it. The lesson takes you through Geordie's journey from finding the fawn till taking it home with him. Well, let's start from the first part. Geordie allowed his thoughts to drift back to the fawn. He could not keep it out of his mind. He had held it in his dreams in his arms. He slipped from the table and went to his father's bedside. Penny lay at rest. His eyes were open and clear, but the pupils were still dark and dilated. Geordie said, "How are you feeling, Pa?" "Just fine, son. Old Death has gone thieving elsewhere. But wasn't it a close shave?" "I agree," Penny said. "I'm proud of you, boy, the way you kept your head and did what was needed." So student, here Geordie could not help but think about the fawn again and again, no matter how much he tried not to. He held him in his arm in his dreams. He finally got up from the table to go to his father's bedside where his father Penny was resting. His eyes were open and seemed clear, but the pupils were still dark and enlarged. Geordie asked his father how he was feeling. His father replied that he felt just fine. He further added that it was a narrow escape from death which seems to have gone stealing elsewhere. Geordie agreed. Penny expressed how proud he was of Geordie for how he did not lose his school and did what was necessary while staying calm. Now let's see the next paragraph. Pa, yes son. Pa, do you recollect the doe and the fawn? I can never forget them. The poor doe saved me, that's certain. Pa, the fawn may be out there yet. It might be hungry and very scared. I suppose so. Pa, I am a big boy now and don't need to drink milk. Why don't I go and see if I can find the fawn? And bring it here and raise it. Penny lay quiet, staring at the ceiling. Boy, you have got me hemmed in. It won't take much to raise it, Pa. It will soon start eating leaves and acorns. You are smarter than boys of your age. We took its mother and it wasn't to blame. Surely it seems ungrateful to leave him to starve. Son, I can't say no to you. I never thought I would live to say another day. Well, he then asked his father if he still remembered the doe and the fawn, to which Penny replied that he can never forget about the poor doe that saved his life. Geordie expressed his concern regarding the fawn, who might still be out there hungry and frightened as he was separated from his mother. His father agreed. Geordie further adds that he can take care of him and he does not need to drink milk as he is a grown-up boy now. He asked his father if he could go and look out for the fawn. His father asked if Geordie wanted to bring the fawn at their place, to which Geordie agreed and added that he wanted to raise it too. As his father looked at the ceiling, he expressed how Geordie has put him in a situation where he is unable to say no. Geordie tried to convince him further by pointing out that he would not require a lot of efforts to raise it, and it will soon grow up to eat leaves and acorns. Penny added how Geordie was brighter than the boys of his age. Geordie mentioned that it was them who took its mother and now it will suffer because of them, even though it is not to be blamed. His father expressed how ungrateful it would be to let him starve. Penny could not say no to Geordie as he had lost all hope of living to see another day. Well, coming to the next page, can I write back with Millville and see if I can find it? Tell your ma, I said you can go. So now, Geordie, he asked his father if he could ride back with Millville to try and find the fawn. His father agreed and told Geordie to convey to his mom that he has given him the required permission. Now, coming to the next paragraph, he slided back to the table and sat down. His mother was pouring coffee for everyone. He said, Ma, Pa says I can go bring back the fawn. She held the coffee pot in midair. What? Fawn? The fawn belonging to the doe we killed. We used the doe's liver to draw out the poison and save Pa. She gasped. Well, for pity's sake. Pa says it would be ungrateful to leave it to starve. Dr. Wilson said, That's right, ma'am. Nothing in the world comes quite free. The boy's right and his daddy's right. Millville said, He can ride back with me. I will help him find it. She set down the pot helplessly. Well, if you will give it your milk, we have got nothing else to feed it. So student, Geordie, he went back to the table in a manner to avoid getting noticed. He told his mother while she poured a coffee for everyone that his father has given him permission to bring the fawn. On hearing this, she paused and held the coffee pot in the air and asked, Which fawn is he talking about? Geordie informs her that he intends on bringing the fawn that belonged to the doe they killed to save his father's life. He further explained that they used doe's liver to extract poison to save his father. She heaved a sigh as she said that he can bring him home out of pure compassion. Geordie told her that his father thinks it would be ungrateful and unappreciative of them to let the fawn starve. Dr. Wilson kept his view forward by agreeing with what Geordie and his father said. He thought both of them, there is nothing you can get from the world for free. And he thought both of them were right. Millville volunteered to give Geordie a ride and help him find the fawn. On hearing all this, Geordie's mother felt helpless as she sat down. Even though she was not in favor of it, she knew they were right and thus agreed if Geordie would give the fawn his share of milk as they had nothing else to feed it. Now, coming to the next paragraph, Millville said, Come on, boy, we have got to get riding. Ma Baxter asked anxiously, You will not be gone long. Geordie said, I will be back before dinner for sure. Millville mounted his horse and pulled Geordie up behind him. He said to Millville, Do you think the fawn's still there? Will you help me find him? We will find him if he's alive. How you know it's a he? The spots were all in a line. On a doe fawn, Pa says the spots are every which way. Well, as soon as his mother agreed, Millville asked Geordie to come along and said that they needed to go. Geordie's mother, Baxter, quite uneasily asked for reassurance that he will not be gone for long. Geordie replied that he would be back before dinner. Millville climbed his horse and helped Geordie sit behind him. Geordie asked Millville if he thinks the Faun would still be there and if he will help Geordie in finding him. Millville assured him that they would find the Faun if it was alive. However, he asked Geordie how he knew it was a male. Geordie told Millville that he is sure because his spots were all in a line. His father had told him that a doe fawn or a female deer had spots in different directions. So student, today's class will be up to this. Next day, we are going to start from a new part. Thank you, student.